Hello? Hello, Iris. Can you hear me?
How are you? I can hear you.
Hey, Iris. Yeah, I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good as well.
Good.
Cool. So it's really great to meet you. I see that you are doing I guess, payment systems, which is really similar to what my company is doing. So I thought it'd be really great to connect. Yeah. So did you want to share like why you wanted to do this meeting or what you hope to get out of it?
Yeah, I'll explain what our business is. Quickly, I will go through the presentation so that you understand what we are doing, okay? Okay, so we produce or we provide a digital check version of a physical check so that people don't need to actually send a check by mail. They can use our system to create a check and deposit. Like for example, in US, there are about 28 billion checks are processed every year. And wire transfers are expensive. And the micropayments, sometimes the checks that they receive are very, very little. And like rental payments, etc., they are still paying using check, the regular check process. And the processing of the check costs quite a bit of money for the banks. So the banks are willing to accept digital payments if somebody can upload a check image. So what we are trying to solve is actually creation of the check itself, not after what happens after you receive the check, but basically, the main problem is that the receiving of the check itself. So this provides an easier way to receive a check. So this is the whole process where, a person can add a bank account, and then we verify his bank account using Plaid or Yodlee. And then after that, he can make the payment. Okay. So the endpoints, basically, we also provide an API whereby the user can send a payment to the end user or end user's bank directly through our API. Okay, so this is all API-driven transaction, how the API works. And this is the digital version of our check. So this is very secured. We provide both the barcode and the QR code, which can be scanned and deposited by the bank. Actually, when you do this through API, all this data will go directly into the bank's system so that it gets, once they accept with all the data that is received, including this image, that gets into the system, gets processed through their normal banking channel. So that's what the advantage is. And this item can also be created as multiple versions, as that's what we foresee. And in the next part of the presentation, you'll see that. Okay? So the revenue model is basically the cost per transaction is paid by the banks or the business which is sending the check or receiving the check, either way. So there multiple options are available. And in the future product variations, we wanted to be able to provide all these variants to the business, either cross-border money transfers or providing like a demand draft or a banker's check, which we do in US, or like a traveler's check, or this can also be used as a money order once we have the agents in the destination. So this is all futuristic vision, the vision which we have for this check. So anybody can just show this check and get paid. Like for example, you're traveling from here to Singapore. So in Singapore, you can just show it to one of the banks, any bank. You can walk into any bank or a money transfer agent and show your digital check, and you get paid. So that's the kind of advantage we have. So we have that back-end operation, basically the ID verification and all that happens at the time. Okay. And so the future opportunities, this is where I wanted the meeting with you. So currently it's all traditional banking route or the banking channels which we are using both for the funding and the payment. But in future, what we wanted to do, or future in the sense that in the next couple of weeks, that's what our goal is, that the users having crypto as their money can also use this system so that they can use the crypto to make the payments to anyone. So that's where our interest is, so that we can plug in into any crypto exchange or any crypto wallet and then be able to do the transaction to the end user. And also, in future, when the digital dollar project comes in, we want to plug into the digital dollar project as well as one of the participants in that digital dollar project. And the universal payment interface is what we are also thinking about, like what you have here, the UPI in India, where all the banks have contributed into the UPI, just like your ACH system in US. But ACH system is a consumer-driven system. And also there is a FedWire. So for all these payment interfaces, we can provide that interface through our API calls. So end-to-end exchange of money, basically transfer of the money and exchange of the money from any one format to another format is what we are envisioning in future. Okay. So currently, for our digital product, we have a couple of competitors. Paysimple.com is not a real competitor. Basically, what they do is, once you receive a check, you can put the check into the system and they make the payment to the bank account by deducting some money. They keep some commission and balance they pay. Whereas checkissuing.com is similar to ours, where they can give a digital check by taking some fee, maybe $1 or $2 for each check they produce, similar to ours. Same with the snapcheck.co, they also do the same thing. And so dlx.com, they also produce a paper check. Okay, so this is our technology, how we enable, so how the bank system and the payment system, our Pay2mate system work is here. The ID verification, currently we are doing Cognito and account verification through Plaid. And our software, we have in-house software development. So we would be interested in this part, like the verification side, to be done by a different mechanism if it's going to cost less, and also it's going to be a lot more secure and more reliable. So that's where our other interest is as well. So this is the API process, how the API call is sent, how it responds on the both endpoints.
Got it. Could you actually go back to the last slide with the identity verification? Yeah, okay. So, got it. So you guys are already using different softwares for identity verification. Interesting. Okay, so I'm kind of trying to think about where we could have a potential partnership. And I think it looked like you guys are interested in partnering with startups that could offer cryptocurrency infrastructures. Is that correct?
That's correct.
So at ID, we actually don't use any cryptocurrency. So I don't think there's a potential for a partnership there. So what we are is we are an identity verification company. Well, I guess we're a blockchain identity company, and our technology relies on identity verifications. So we're not 100% identity verification. What we do is we store identity verifications on the blockchain and allow users to reuse the verification. So at the end of the day, if, say, blockchain identity becomes the norm, the new status quo, then we wouldn't need identity verification companies anymore, because the blockchain identity is essentially recycling all the identity verifications. So it would kind of put them out of business. So that's essentially what we're doing.
Yeah, that's where our interest is. Like, for example, if you have let us assume that over a period of time, you acquire, say, 20 million users into your identity verification database. They become your customers or, your database. and you wanted us to use your database on a per transaction basis. So a user comes to our system, they wanted to sign up, and while doing that identity verification, we ask them, hey, do you want to use this system for your verification, iris force system? That's how we can plug in. And when you verify that, we can pay a transaction fee for that. Yeah, that's the potential area where we are looking into.
Got it. Are you guys partnered with any banks just yet?
Yes, we have partnered with 2 banks already, and more will be done because we are still in beta. So once we are in production, we acquire probably about 10,000 users registrations. So that's when we will be going all out into marketing, and we have our partners like Played. They said they will help us out in onboarding because the Played has already been onboarded with a lot of banks. Mm-hmm. And they said that they can actually onboard the customer side of it because we are on the the enablement side, whereas they are on the technology side. So we can actually bring a lot of business to them and also for the banks. So we will be onboarding many banks just like what Played has.
Got it.
Okay.
Yeah, sounds good. So I think perhaps the best next step for us is for me to connect you with the co-founders of our company, and I think they would really be the right people to talk to for this partnership.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's too early for us to actually get into a partnership, but what we can do is we can exchange the contact information, and once we are ready for actually using your system, we'll contact you. And secondly, when you are ready actually with your users, you have acquired some database of users and whom we can plug into. I don't know how the interface is going to work. Do you have an SDK, or how do your user base actually get into our system or use our system?
Yeah, we have a mobile SDK, and then also our product is an API. So I think something along there. I'm not on the technical side. This is where talking with the co-founders would be helpful.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, okay. Yeah, either one will work. If it's an SDK, we can install that on our backend and execute those calls to the backend itself. Both, either mobile interface or a web interface or any interface, we can use that. And similarly, if you have an API, basically we can make an API call. That would be much easier. But I don't know how reliable that's going to be because the API calls sometimes take a lot of time because sometimes they're not reliable. So that would be a little bit of a concern because we try to execute an API call in real time, and your API server doesn't respond within the time that is allowed. The calls will fail. That's one aspect. But anyway, that we can handle later on. But either way, yeah, if you have that kind of an interface, that's when we can plug in. And we can use your system as one of the options for the users to validate their account.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Got it.
Okay, so how far are you guys in productionizing your technology? Are you guys actually live, or are you on beta, or what is it?
We're on beta right now. So currently finishing up the development of the product. We have demos scheduled for Q3 with certain financial institutions. And then hopefully by Q4 in 2021, we could be live.
Cool. Yeah, that sounds great. Yeah, this is the area where there's great potential because we are just sitting on the top of an iceberg, and there's the opportunities under the water, which we don't see it yet. Yeah, excellent. Yeah, that's what I want to hear. Yeah, thanks for your time, and I'm going to share my contact information on the Umbrella. Once you have that, you can also share my information to my email address, and we'll keep you in touch with our developments. And when we are ready, we'll communicate with you.
Got it. Sounds great.
Sure.
Thanks for taking
Thanks
your
for your time. Great to have you this meeting. Have a good day.
You too.
Bye, Iris.